Unit 5A, Lesson 5. In this lesson, we're going to do two constructions. One construction is going to be constructing a tangent line from a point outside a given circle to the circle. And the second construction is going to be constructing a tangent line to a point that lies on the circle. The first construction is constructing a tangent to the circle from a point outside the circle. So we have our point. We're going to construct two tangents going to the circle. The first thing we need to do is construct a segment connecting the center of the circle to the point on the outside. Once we have this segment drawn in, we need to construct the perpendicular bisector to this segment. So if I take my compass, place it on one of the endpoints, make sure we extend it so it's more than half the distance across, we construct two arcs. Keeping that same distance, we move to the other endpoint and construct two arcs so that they intersect. There's our first one, and here's our second one. Now we need to construct a segment going through these points of intersection, and that is the perpendicular bisector. Once we have the perpendicular bisector constructed, we're going to place a point where that intersects with our original segment. This represents the midpoint. We're going to take our compass, place it on that midpoint, and adjust it so it goes to the center of the circle. And now we're going to construct two arcs that intersect our circle. Now the last thing we need to do is construct segments that are going to go from our original point through this point of intersection on our circle above and below, and those are going to be our tangent lines. So I go from the point outside the circle, construct a line that goes through that point of intersection and through the point of intersection below, and these are the tangent lines from this point outside the circle to the circle. They intersect at exactly one point, which would be the point of tangency. The second construction is going to be constructing a tangent to the circle from a point on the circle. The first step to this is constructing a ray that goes from the center of the circle through our point that's on the circle and extending to the outside. Once we have this ray constructed, we're going to now construct a perpendicular bisector that goes through this ray through this point, because if we have a radius to the circle and we're trying to construct a tangent line, we know it must be perpendicular to the radius of the circle. So we're going to take our compass, put it on this point on the circle, construct an arc, rotate our compass around, and construct another arc. Now we're going to place our compass on the first point of intersection on that arc we constructed, extend our compass so it's over half the length between our two arcs, and now we have to construct an arc above, rotate it around, construct an arc below. We move our compass to our other point of intersection, and we need to construct two arcs that are going to intersect the other arcs. Now we have all of our arcs constructed. We need to make a segment or a line that goes from this point of intersection through to the other point of intersection, and that will go through that point on the circle and will be our tangent line. So now I construct that line. We have a tangent to the circle that goes through the point on the circle. Just to quickly review each of these constructions, to construct a tangent to the circle from a point outside the circle, first thing, make a segment going from the point outside the circle to the center of the circle. Construct the perpendicular bisector. Once you have the perpendicular bisector constructed, place your compass on the midpoint. Adjust it so it extends to the center of the circle. Construct these two arcs. Once you have those arcs constructed, then you need to go to your point on the outside of the circle, construct rays that go from this point through these intersections, and those are going to be your tangents to the circle. If you're trying to construct a tangent to the circle from a point on the circle, the first thing you have to do is construct a ray going from the center of the circle through that point to the outside. Then the last thing you need to do is construct the perpendicular to this point of intersection. So we construct two arcs of equal distance from that point. We construct the perpendicular bisector, construct that line, and that represents the tangent to the circle going through that point.